Why hello there people of YouTube. This is Juicydigital and this is the first tutorial in After Effects that we are going to be exploring. It's pretty exciting actually doing this, so without further ado we're going to actually just go straight into After Effects and see what we'll be doing. Now in the promo you may have seen this little short clip here, and that's basically what we're going to be creating today. But it's not so much about this 3D text part, it's more about the environment and the scene that it's in. It kind of feels like it's in a massive room, or it kind of like the plane that it's on, it just goes on for infinity. And it's actually quite a cool effect to create, and it's so simple. So let's, without further ado, create that. Okay, so you're going to want to create a new composition. I'm going to be working in PAL widescreen square pixel. You can work in HD if you like, but I'm just going to do this for quickness. No longer than 10 seconds, I don't think, and let's click OK. So of course you can use whatever text or logo that you want for this, but just to go along with the example, we're going to use this 3D text image. Now it is just an image, it's not 3D at all. But I will give this in the project pack. Okay, so the first thing we're going to want to do is get rid of that hideous green background. So to do that, use an effect called Key Light over here in the Effects and Presets panel. You can also go through the Effects drop-down menu here. But as we've got this, let's just do that. Okay, so you want to take this picker here and click the green, and it's done. Simples. Okay. So yeah, to see that grid, you just click this little button here and you can get the transparency up like that. So very simple stuff, guys. Not going too deep in the waters so far. Next thing we're going to want to animate it. So to do that, we want to first of all move the anchor position, because we don't want everything just moving around that point there. We just want to move it to where we feel the center is. So to do that, you use the pan behind tool over there. So yeah, I think because it kind of feels like it's extruding from that point there, we're going to use that point there. So after you've done that, you're going to want to get the scale and rotation values up on here. To do that, you just press S, hold Shift, and then press R, and they will come up like that. So we want to go a few seconds in, or a few frames even, and keyframe both of those. Move a few more seconds in, keyframe again, and we'll start with that. So when it reaches this point here is the middle point, and in the middle point I kind of want it to be flat and not wonky, so we'll just rotate it like that, and then it can be wonky when it starts off, so it kind of like rotates and scales into the screen. So then we're going to want to, on the first keyframe, put the scale down to 0, and then it does that. So next thing you're going to want to do is make these keyframes easy ease. So to do that, you just press F9, and what it does is basically just makes it ease in and ease out. And when I say ease, I mean it's not rigid, it kind of flows into it. It's a bit more natural, the movement. Okay, so that looks cool, and then we want it to go back to 0 scale. So just hit 0. We kind of want it to be a continuous rotation as well, so we just carry on that rotation, and then we'll see what we've got there. So that looks okay for now. What we might want to do is have it hang a little bit longer in the middle there. So to do that, you select the scale keyframe and you hit the graph editor just there. Just zoom in a little bit here, and basically this graph is a graphical representation of the movement in figures and time. So what we do is, this is the middle point here, and we want it to stay here for a little bit longer. So to do that, you pull these anchors out, if you will, just to the side, and then you can see that it just stays here, or it eases in very slowly into that, and then it rushes back out. So it's quite cool. I might just drag that across. And then if we click that again, and we can see how this looks. Yeah, so that looks much better. It just kind of hangs there in the front and pulls back out again. So now that we've got the animation down, we're going to want to create another composition, exactly the same as the last one, same settings. And we're going to want to drag that other composition inside. So to do that, you go over to the project tab here, and it was comp 4 that we made it in, so we'll drag that inside here, and there it is. Next thing we're going to want to do is create a new solid. You can do that there. Let's make a new comp size, but you can also make a new solid by coming up here, new solid. Okay, so as you can see, it's all transparent, and you can do whatever you want with this. So what I'm going to do for the effect that we're trying to create right now is go to Effect, Generate, Ramp, and it just creates a gradient, similar, exactly the same as the gradient tool in Photoshop, except it looks horrible. So what we're going to do is go Radial, and I'm going to drag the center point down here, and just drag this other point off to the side. That's great. Now it comes to selecting your colours. Now you want this to match what you've got, and in this case the kind of reflective parts of this are reflecting kind of oranges, yellows, kind of flat yellows and stuff like that. So we're going to try and make it look like it's sort of reflecting off the scene that it's already in. So we're going to use those kind of colours. Like that. Basically you want to use kind of pale colours and not too different from each other. So it kind of is very subtle. You might want to make that a little bit lighter. More colourful. So yeah, very simple there, and it kind of already feels like it's in a room, but it's missing something. It's missing that element that kind of sells it, and that is the shadow that you see here. So to create that, again, very simple. You just duplicate the comp. That's the comp with the 3D text in it. So to do that, you just press Command D, or you can go to Edit, Duplicate, and you take the one underneath it, and you kind of just flip it upside down. Not totally, but it's just so it's kind of squished. And you put that below it there. And then we're going to need to put a couple of effects on it. So the first one is fill. Obviously you don't want it red, but you want it a kind of a dark grey or a black, probably dark grey. Actually, because it's yellow, let's use a really dark brown. Okay. And the second effect is fast blur. So drag that over there. And then you just want it to be really soft. Now I've kind of played around with this, and I think 200 looks quite cool, but it does depend on the image that you're using. But obviously that's way too intense right now, so we're going to bring down the opacity, so you can bring that up by pressing T, and we're just going to bring it down to like 45%. Yeah, that looks quite good. And yeah, as you can see, it just kind of makes it feel like it's in a 3D room, sort of. So let's just watch that. Great, I think that looks pretty cool, but it is still missing something, kind of that realism. So what we're going to do is turn on the motion blur in here. So what you have to do there is click on that little icon there, and then you have to turn it on for the whole composition by doing that. And let's go back into here and see what we come up with. Oh yeah, that looks much better. Very nice indeed, guys. Well, the great thing about this project is that because it's a comp inside a comp, we can go back into the previous one where we've done this and just change what's inside it. So say if you had a logo that you wanted to put inside it, I'll use mine just for example's sake. So you can put that inside, and when you go back across, everything's changed. Now you might need to change a few things like the positioning or whatever. Just put it up there. And there you go. So simple, the whole thing's changed. And that's what you can do. You can just put whatever effects you want inside here, and it will automatically change in the original comp. Doesn't it look lovely? Now after this, guys, it's really up to you what you add. Now in the original I kind of put a lens flare, but you could add like camera shake or whatever like that. I mean, I'll probably go over camera shake in another tutorial, but yeah, it's like possibilities are endless, guys. One thing that you probably will want to do, however, is create a new adjustment layer. And what adjustment layer does is you can add effects to the scene, but it will change everything. It will affect everything. So we'll probably want to add a curves adjustment, not curves, curves adjustment. Pop that on there. And it's very dark at the moment, so we're just going to bring up the whites. Maybe bring down the blacks. No, not too bad. So yeah, just kind of brighten it up a bit. I mean, once you've done that, you might want to change your colours again, just so that kind of the background doesn't lose its effect. So yeah, that's a bit better. It's quite colourful. And there you go, guys. I mean, you can use this effect for anything. So I'll give this effect in the project pack along with the 3D text. And yeah, guys, just use it for whatever you want. And yeah, leave a comment below. Follow me on Twitter @JuicyVideo. Go along to the website www.juicydigital.net. And yeah, keep tuned for more amazing, juicy tutorials. I hope this was helpful. I've been Juicy Digital, and I'm tuning out.